Hey everybody, this is Matt. I'm making a new Heroclix video, and with a new set coming out, Earth X, the newest Marvel set coming out, I wanted to make some videos talking about some of my favorite pieces from the set, and I think I'm gonna break them down in a way that, one video is gonna have commons, another video is gonna have uncommons, and another video, you get the gist. So let's just jump into it. So for this first video, I think I'm going to talk about commons, and the way I've done it is I've selected 3 pieces that are commons from Earth X, and I'm going to talk about what I really like about them. So the first piece I want to talk about is Silver Sable. She is 002 from Earth X, and she is 50 points, she has 5 range, which honestly, in an Earth X sealed environment, 5 range is decent. A lot of pieces only have 4 range. So having that 5th range is nice because it keeps you a little bit outside of people's charge range, And so what Silver Sable really works well with is working with any team. Like her trait says, I work better with a team. It's so true. This piece is set up in such a way that you can really put her on any team, and she just works so well. So her team ability is Spider-Man Ally. That means she is a wild card, and she can wild card whatever team ability that's on a friendly character that can be wild carded. There are some team abilities that cannot be wild carded, like Mystics or Power Cosmic, stuff like that. But pretty much everything else, like she could wild card Batman, she could wild card Justice League, stuff like that. Her keywords are Wild Pack and Soldier, but her trait, I work better with a team. During force construction, choose a named keyword. Silver Sable gains that keyword. So it's during force construction, so that it will not break a theme team, which is great. But there is a restriction where it has to be a named keyword. So Silver Sable won't suddenly become a scientist, and she won't suddenly become an animal, but she could suddenly become an X-Man, or she could suddenly become a Green Lantern Corps member, which is really fun to think about. I really love that. 50 points, it's not too bad. It can fill out, the last little points that you might have on a team. And so, okay, so she has the keyword thing. The keyword thing's cool. She can wildcard team abilities. She can copy a keyword. Sure, that's cool enough. But then you start looking at her powers, and you really see how well the developers made this the ultimate team player. So she has Sidestep and Energy Explosion. Okay, not bad. 11 attacks, really decent. She also has Mastermind and Leadership, and those 2 powers work so well in a theme team. Mastermind, you can mastermind damage onto a lower point character, or a character that you share a keyword with. Oh, look at that. Or you can leadership. With leadership, you can leadership a token off a piece that's lower points, or a piece that you share a keyword with. Oh, look at that. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful how well this figure was designed to be the ultimate team player. So, and she's boot speed, so like, someone that's flying could just carry her around with them. And, they go to attack Silver Sable, she'll mastermind the damage onto whoever your beat stick is. Maybe you're playing her with Superman. I played her with Black Bolt. Actually, it wasn't Black Bolt, but she would be great. A friend played her with Black Bolt in the pre-release tournament. It works so well. Not only can she mastermind damage onto someone that would just shrug it for the most part, but she can leadership tokens off of them, and that's fantastic. 11 attack, 3 damage is nothing to joke about either. She can either shoot somebody for 3, or she can try to energy explode an entire group for 2. Now, unfortunately, she has different powers later on in her dial. She does become more of a close combat piece, but if you have Mastermind, she may not ever take damage. But later on in her dial, she becomes stealthy. She's finally using that blade that's in her hand. She's harder to hit up close. Oh, but she can still shoot you with Range Combat Expert. It's weird. I don't even think she has a gun, and somehow she has Energy Explosion and Range Combat Expert. Who knows? But I love this piece. I absolutely love this piece. I mean, this piece with Eternity, we have all kinds of like, I'm going to copy these keywords and copy these keywords, and you can play me with a Green Lantern Corps, or heck, she could join the Sinister Syndicate and share that 11 attack with all these people, you know, because she could wild card to the team ability, copy the keyword, so your theme team, oh look, you have 6 pieces, so all your other people get a +1 to their values. Oh, and you're sharing the 11, that means they'll get an 11 plus 1 is 12 attack. Oh, look at that, so good. And the leadership means you get 4 actions for 300 points. I love this piece. Absolutely absolutely love this piece. It's a great piece. I'm really well designed, really nicely designed. So the second piece I want to talk about is a Sinister Syndicate piece. It's the number 006 Sandman, also a common, well duh. He is also a wild card. He has the Spider-Man ally team ability, which is good because, you know, if you want to play, he has the Avengers keyword, which is cool. So like if you want to play him with the Avengers, he can wildcard to the Avengers team ability if you'd ever want to. Or if you want to play him with the Sinister Syndicate, he can wildcard to the Sinister Syndicate team ability, which is very useful. He would likely need it because he has late dial 9 attack, early dial 10 attack, but his Sinister 6 United trait kind of makes up for that, because if you have exactly 6 characters on your team, on your force, should I say, he gets +1 to all combat values. So he would have a 9 movement, 11 attack, a 18 defense, and a 4 damage. And I will say this, during the pre-release, I was beat the heck by a team of Sinister Syndicate that were all rocking 11 attacks that could do 4 damage with their attacks. For 50 points, 11 for 4 is really strong for 50 points. Now let's throw on top of it, Sandman is indomitable, which is very rare to see on a 50-point piece. And then, going back to his trait, he has stealth guaranteed, which can make him even harder to hit. If you have 3 or more characters, he has improved movement hindering terrain. And if you have 5 or more characters, okay, I did it backwards. Stealth, but only if your force has 3 or more characters. I think that's weird how they put the period after stealth. Improved movement ignores hindering, but only, see how they have a comma there? Maybe I'm reading off of HC Realms and they just don't have the formation right. Maybe, I don't know. But only if you're okay. So stealth if you have 3 or more characters. Improved movement if you have 4 or more. Four. What? Is it just 5 and okay, it doesn't, there's nothing for 4. Okay, whatever. Stealth if you have 3 or more characters, improved movement hindering if you have 5 or more characters, and modify all combat values but +1 if you have 6 or more characters. I'm not going to edit this video. Do you think I have that much time on my hands? Okay, so a lot of cool stuff there. But then you have on top of this really unique other trait called Shifting Sands. It's a free action, so at any time during your turn, other than at the beginning or at the end of your turn, if he has no action tokens, you can choose a standard power printed on the card. So you have to look at the character card that he can't use already, you know, and then he can use that power until your next turn. That's really useful. It's so useful because you can use it offensively and you can use it defensively. I ran up against an opponent in a pre-release, and he was a very defensive Sandman, and you'll see why. So on his first click, he has sidestep, super senses, and shape change. The super senses and shape change just makes it dumb, because you have like such a small chance to actually get through the attack. You know, you go to attack Sandman, he rolls shape change. Oh, he got the shape change, so you have to choose somebody different. Or you go to attack Sandman, he rolled the shape change, oh, but he failed it. So now you hit him, or maybe if you missed him, he might have an 18 defense. Maybe you missed him. Maybe he's in stealth and you can't even shoot him. You have to run up and punch him and waste your only action to run up and punch him and hope that you get through the shape change and you get through the super senses and all that kind of stuff. Well, on top of that, he can choose combat reflexes. So it's like, oh, I have to run up and punch him. get past probably a 20 defense, because he'll have a 17 plus 2 from combat reflexes plus 1 from the Sinister 6 United trait. So you have to run up, try to hit the 20, try to get through shape change, try to get through super senses. It's dumb as flip, dude. I'm sorry. And if you want more of a tankier version, but it's a little bit easier to hit, you can go invulnerability. And at any point, you're just like, oh, I miss him. The next turn, he's like, okay, I have 3 damage. I'll choose Flurry, and I'm going to flurry you for, I have 4 damage because of my trait. 11 for 4, 11 for 4. See ya. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's really, really sick what this Sandman can do. He's indomitable. He has kind of a pick of power. At least his first click is so just hard to hit. He's wildcardable. He's Avengers keyword. Like, he's so cool. It's a great piece for a common. Great piece for the common. Now, he's a little bit less useful if you play him on a non-Sinister 6 team. But still, though, he has a lot going for him. He even has 3 range. Huh? I mean, 3 range. So, a lot of really cool stuff you can do with this piece. And the last piece I want to talk about is number 015, number 15 in the set, Spider-Man. He is Peter Parker, but he's kind of old, and he's got a beer belly. And before you laugh at him, this piece is pretty awesome, okay? This piece is pretty awesome. It's totally different from any other Spider-Man piece I've ever seen. He's only 30 points, so like if you're rocking that Spider-Man family theme team, he's pretty good. Pretty good filler for all those, like, I only have a few points left over type thing. Now, just looking at his down normally, his values are not very good. He has a 9 attack for 1 damage. Like, what is he even doing? He can't deal damage. He can't hit people. What is he even doing? But he has support, which is always useful. You pair him up with a beat stick, somebody with really heavy defense powers, and you just, if he gets hit, Spider-Man can support him, maybe. I mean, the 9 attacks, but, you have a chance at a support. He does bounce onto Willpower and Perplex, which is also more supportive powers. Even his last click is not bad. 11 for 2. He can Perplex up to 3 damage. 11 for 3 damage for 30 points. That's not bad at all. But what really he shines at is his special movement power that he has the entire dial. Everyone has power, so my only responsibility is to my daughter, which is also in the set. Actually, I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess this one is in the set. Okay, anyways. So he has Leap Climb. Big whoop. But when Spider-Man moves, after resolutions, you may choose a friendly standard character adjacent to a square he moved through. If you do, place that character adjacent, and it can't be given a costed action this turn. So you're saying, what does this even mean? It sounds confusing. Basically, what this is it's a different form of carrying a piece, kind of. Okay, if you're used to normal carry is 2 pieces start out the movement next to each other, 1 piece moves, and after they end up moving, then the other piece kind of teleports next to them, for the most part. They're placed next to them, That's how normal movement works, and it has some rules to it, whereas if you want to carry somebody, they have to be next to you, they have to be adjacent to the piece moving by the second you start the movement. So like, if Falcon wants to carry Captain America, they have to be next to each other the second Captain starts to move. Did I say Captain Falcon? I mean Falcon. The second Falcon wants to move. Okay. But this Spider-Man kind of changes that a little bit, because if you are adjacent to any square he moved through, after the movement, he can then place you next to him wherever he ends up his movement. And that's really, really useful. It's so useful in so many different ways, because to me, it's like the ultimate oh crap button. It's like, Okay, I'm gonna running shot with Black Bolt. I'm gonna move out 6 squares and shoot you 8 squares away. I think he has 8. I think he has 8 range. I'm not sure. Anyways, oh, but I just ran out to the edge of elevated and now I'm a sitting duck. I'm on the edge of elevated where everybody can see me and they're just gonna outwit my defense and shoot me. Not if Spider-Man has anything to say about it. Spider-Man moves up next to Black Bolt and moves back, and then drops off Black Bolt next to him. So in a way, he's kind of like this, like a dog with a bone. Think about, okay, the bone is whatever character you want to save from harm, and the dog just runs out, grabs the bone, and comes back. And that's really, really cool. Not only that is, you could even do like, so he's good at like saving a piece that's really far out. You could also just use him as like a really good taxi, because unlike with normal carry where you get a -1 movement, Spider-Man is not getting that carry. And he has leap climb, so he can get up on top of different elevations really easily and drop off another character right at the top of the elevation, which that could be very useful. He is, to me, like the ultimate position piece, because he can set up, like if you running shot out a piece, he can go and grab them and bring them back. If you want to like have someone kind of get out really far, he can just run out there and drop them off. It's really cool. Actually, it's really cool. Also with like the going and retrieving part, you can bring them back and then next turn push to use support, which could be useful. He's also a wild card and he has police team ability, so he can wild card to all kinds of cool team abilities. You can play him with, play him with that Cyclops and wild card the X-Men team ability. There's another way he can heal people. Police team ability is useful just useful for like range attacks and stuff. For 30 points, this piece plays very different than most other pieces. This is not a piece that's gonna deal 5 damage, or it's not going to tie up another piece, or it's not going to just be the ultimate support. I'm going to perplex you up a billion times. This is a piece that saves pieces, that runs out, grabs somebody and says, hey, you're not in harm anymore, let's get back a little bit. It's really interesting. It's really, really interesting. I played a little bit with him and he just, he helped move my pieces out of play. Like if someone has you tied up, let's say you're facing that rare Montana and he has plasticity and all this kind of stuff, you can just run by your dude and tow him back to your team. It's really useful. It's really, really cool. And I think for 30 points, I would play him a lot on all kinds of teams, but especially on a Spider-Man family team, because he will complement your main attacker or your secondary attacker and allow them to overextend, and then he'll just run out and grab them. It's really cool actually. I really, really like this piece. So those were the commons that I really like from EarthX. There are some more I do, but I just wanted to narrow it down to 3 so I can really talk about how much I really like the pieces. I think there are some really great pieces in EarthX. I think most of them are probably Spider-Man pieces, but that's my opinion. But definitely check out EarthX. It just came out today, February 5th, I believe. It might be the 6th actually. I may be wrong about that. It might be the 6th. Definitely go check out the set. It's probably at your closest gaming store, maybe even a comic book store. Definitely check out the set. It's a fun set. It's definitely a fun set. I think you'll have a lot of fun playing it. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you had a great time watching it, and I hope you have a fun time playing Heroclix, everybody. See you later. Bye bye.